I thought we were a little sluggish today. Just obviously you like to have things to be great every day, but there's no doubt we're in the backside of camp. We did get some good work done, and we were in half pads. We will scrimmage tomorrow. That'll be closed, and it's going to be an opportunity to do pretty significant evaluations on some of those guys, particularly the younger guys and some of the guys that are battling for some spots. There's only so many times we want to expose ourselves to some live work, and tomorrow will be pretty much that. We're going to have officials here, which is going to be important. A couple guys, we've got some sickness going through the team, but you're going to have that. But other than that, we're making progress. So at this time, any questions?
How important is it for guys to kind of get into a game-like atmosphere with that scrimmage tomorrow?
Well, I think it's imperative, and it's always good to have officials around too. As coaches, we try to officiate, but we're not trained on all the intricacies and some of the things that typically trip you up in the first game. And we'll need to play really air-free, and so having the officials here and all the coaches off the field, all those things give a semblance of what a game is like. And so it's going to be important for us to go pretty long tomorrow. We'll spec it out, but it may get close to 100 plays just because I think we need some work, particularly for our lower units.
Is there any position that you're looking at specifically, Coach?
Well, I think there's a couple things. We're still trying to find some, finalization in the offensive line would be one. There's some things that we'll need to do in the secondary, maybe not so much for a starter, but for a backup guy. The tight end position is continued to be evaluated. That's going to be important. And then we'll need to have some playmakers happen at the wide receiver position. We had a pretty significant exodus of guys who touched the football that, are still on NFL rosters right now. So that gives you an indication. We had some really good ability there last year. I think we've got good ability now, but you really can't tell until it's more like a game situation.
Could this go a fairly long way to determining your too deep?
Coaches are constantly evaluating,
Right.
and we sit in those meetings and go through and cull through the tape and make some adjustments, but there is no replication for a live play, and so this will have a big impact on where we're at.
Now, we've talked a lot about that center spot, but with the rest of the O-line, I guess, what have you seen that you've liked or not liked so far this
Well,
game?
first of all, starting with the center, we're pleased with Logan Harris, and right now, as we see it, he's going to be projected as starting, but we'll evaluate it after the scrimmage. We're looking in between Gavin Rush playing some center, though. The other guy, Alonzo, keeps on making good plays out there, and so we'll continue to look at him. But you've got some pretty solid guys. Ryan Cummings played a lot of football here. Caden Jackson's played a lot of football. Zach Walls played a lot of football, and Gavin's played a lot of football too. And so we've got some guys. Just finding out what 5 guys play the best.
Is Alonzo working at tackle spots? I know he's a pretty big guy, or I guess what have you seen from him?
He's working at tackle, and he's about 90-some pounds, and he's 6'7". He's got good feet and broad shoulders, and he really wants to play football. So sometimes as a freshman, you get surprised, and we've been a little bit surprised, pleasantly.